if you don't give us equity, we'll just go to these other guys and they will. These are publicly traded companies that Amazon's getting not only equity, but governance. Since when does a customer receive equity warrants from the vendor? Amazon, one of the greatest tech monopolies. I'd say the one I'm most bullish on from a growth prospect standpoint, even now with the founder, CEO, about to go into space any day now. What this article is about is Amazon demands one more thing from some vendors, a piece of their company. It's a really interesting piece. We've covered this about, and one of the first examples they give is SpartanNash. SpartanNash is a food distributor, supplier to Amazon, Whole Foods, now Amazon Fresh. We covered this, that Amazon was getting warrants, was getting a stake in the company. And like, hey, does that mean Amazon wants to go buy this company eventually? To me, what this article clearly, outlines is no, they just want the equity. And now what these suppliers have had to do, Amazon's basically made this not a nice to have, but a must have. And they've pitted these suppliers against their competitors and said, well, if you don't give us equity, we'll just go to these other guys and they will. This is unheard of. Since when does a customer receive equity warrants from the vendor? Right? It just doesn't work that way. That's just not how it's done, right? It's a clear example of monopoly power. It's a clear example of who do platforms take advantage of? Anyone fill that in for me? Yes, it's not the consumer. It doesn't hurt the consumer. Who does this hurt? Suppliers. They're taking, this piece goes on to give you a number of examples, sometimes up to like 20%, or it could be more, 30% of the company, just because they're the largest customer of that vendor, of that supplier. So they talk about product distributors and product suppliers. They talk about logistics suppliers, particularly as Amazon's gotten more into air freight and air transportation, cargo transportation. SpartanNash is the first one. Then they go into some examples with energy and power companies, transportation companies. Amazon also had the ability to put someone on the board in one of these companies. I mean, these are publicly traded companies, right? Like these aren't small private, these are publicly traded companies that Amazon's getting not only equity, but governance rights in the company. They're not looking to buy these companies. They're just trying to get a little extra juice. They know they can squeeze that orange a little bit more and boom, they get some extra, they get the nice like orange juice with the pulp. You guys like the pulp? I like the pulp. They're getting the pulp and a little bit of extra juice. And what I mean by a little bit of extra juice is like hundreds of millions of dollars, actually now billions of dollars worth of warrants. And just given what's going on in the stock market today, literally they're getting, by some estimates, up to $8 billion. $8 billion just from saying, I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff from you, supplier, right? And I'm going to make a big commitment to buy $800 million of stuff or services from you over a 5-year period of time. Great. Give me 20% of your company. I mean, it's crazy. And then if you don't go with them, now they're going to enable your smaller competitor. They're going to give them a bunch of business. That's going to make your competitor more, much stronger. Give them that nice big press release in the market, have investors flock to them. But, the investors flocking to them, like, actually, that's the funny thing about this. It talks about how the stock prices jumped. SpartanNash, their stock jumped when it was announced that Amazon got equity. I actually think it's a bad thing because those investors are getting more diluted by giving all these warrants to Amazon. And Amazon, is getting really good pricing on what they're buying from these vendors anyway. So it's not even like, it's very low margin business, but high volume. So it's going to bump their revenue up, but the margin is going to be paltry coming back. They get to keep the business, they get the press release, but honestly, it doesn't deserve a 20-30% stock jump, which is what often happened. I think the market was saying, oh man, maybe Amazon will go buy this company. And that's why the stock jumped. But just purely trading off of they got the business, from Amazon, those events don't rationalize. So I thought this was pretty interesting. Another great example, platform monopoly is taking advantage of who? Suppliers, not consumers. They get the margin out of the suppliers. Not only do they get the margin, now they get the equity in the tune of billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. Just buying stuff. Hi, I'm Alex. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, but even better, make sure to follow us on Odyssey, follow us on Rumble, and text us 203-646-5159. Text the word Monopoly. You'll be subscribed. You'll get updates about when we're going live, our latest videos, and we'll send you even a little goodie bag. And in the event that we all get banned from big tech, we'll still be connected.